What's up, everybody? Welcome back officially to the next episode of the Perma Banter podcast. I am one half of your gorgeous host, Chunky Tuesday, Jeremy Fiorito, and we also have...
What's up? I'm Matthew... That's it. Sefik. Matt's Foodie Eats. Going viral, I hope, please.
Going viral for that spicy chicken tender.
Oh, baby.
Thank you guys so much for your support over the past week. It's been so cool hearing your guys' feedback, hearing how much you guys like the episode, and we hope you like this one just as much. And
yeah. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on TikTok.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Likes, comments, all that jazz. And
yes.
You know what? Even just to be even more excited, Matt's going to start us off with some freaking news, baby.
Let's dive into it.
Dive in.
Well, there was a ton of gaming news that happened last week and a half. An insane amount of game announcements and/or just giving updates on the games that were already have been announced. But one of the biggest ones, and it was the main thing for Xbox to showcase, which was their new handheld console, which is pretty dang sick. Did you see that, Jeremy?
I did. I actually think it's really interesting seeing how more companies are going with the handheld console look. I think ever since the Switch came out and then the PlayStation Portal came out, it's nice to see Xbox finally pick up some
Steam Deck.
Steam Deck. Steam Deck's just a whole other thing of its league. It's basically a computer. It's cool to see Xbox go with the handheld route. I'm just curious to see how this is going to relate to the price increases, stuff like that, and just a bunch of other changes. But what do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, they haven't even announced the price yet. Because I assume it's going to be like $800, close to $1,000. Because it is a gaming. It's going to be a gaming PC too. I think it's the AGOG thing. Whatever it is, they basically are. They've made handhelds before that are supposed to be really great, apparently. But the fact that it has the form of an Xbox controller is awesome. That's unique because that probably will mean it's the most comfortable handheld gaming system in the market. It does bring a tear to my eye, unless Sony gets in the race too, because I miss the the PSP, and I miss honestly the PlayStation Vita was a really good console that just didn't sell well. I was really hoping and begging for Sony to announce a awesome PlayStation handheld that can play PlayStation 4 games natively and then stream PlayStation 5 games or play some PlayStation 5 games natively as well. But they just haven't done that. We'll see if they do that. But Xbox is jumping ahead of them, which is this. This is their first ever handheld console, which is pretty sick.
It's just going to be interesting to see how I feel like Xbox is just taking leaps and bounds, especially with Game Pass and everything like that. And just trying to make their games more user-friendly, more people playing the games. But it's still funny how they have money kind of in the back of their head, if that makes sense. Like, if you didn't go shell out a bunch of dollars for a PC to get PC Game Pass, you're still stuck paying crazy high console prices.
Totally. And I also think I still don't understand why Microsoft increased the prices of their consoles. I mean, I guess if it was inflation, but it makes no sense to do that when you're not selling well whatsoever. But we'll talk more about it. Actually, we can talk more about it right now. Basically, their next console, they already are announcing that it's basically going to be really partnered well with the PC. It will have Steam on it. So a native console will have Steam automatically accessible. So pretty much they're just selling something that is considered a console, but all it is just a gaming PC that gives you access to Windows and gives you access to Steam, which is pretty nuts.
I just really think that it just blows my mind. Like, thinking about the Xbox 360, the Xbox console, thinking about where we started to where we are now. Yep. Everyone wants to be a PC gamer. Everyone wants to be on Twitch. Everyone wants to stream. Everyone wants to make content. Subscribe to Permabanter. But everyone just really wants to get on that grind. So Xbox basically is like, oh, well, you want a PC, but you can't afford just as much of a PC? Let's maybe get you like a little mini PC. And yeah.
Sure. Well, I honestly think that it's a massive pivot for them. I mean, so Game Pass has obviously been like their biggest innovation and the biggest thing that they're doing. Like that was the goal. That was what they were trying to. That is the answer. Their best capability of creating something that's really good value for their customer, because they aren't making enough games that are really, really good. At least they weren't for a long time. Yeah. The issue with Microsoft and why they've already kind of conceded defeat is that the Xbox One, when that came out and the PS4 came out, it was the most important console generation to win. Because that's when things started to go fully online and most people started to buy their games digitally. Not everybody, but a lot of people did. Because they lost that war, they've screwed themselves eternally, because if you bought games on PlayStation 4, you're going to want to buy them again on PlayStation 5. And so because a majority of people switched over from Xbox 360 to PlayStation 4, they started buying games digitally. Now you have now it's like, okay, well, if I buy an Xbox, I lose out on all those games on PS4. So I need to buy a PS5. So they lost the most important war. So now they're just like, okay, let's just go the PC route. Let's have something where they can just get accessibility through Game Pass, and now obviously Steam, because Steam is going to provide such good deals. And I'm curious if Microsoft will try to get in on that money in any way, if they can get deals off of it. But either way, I like what Microsoft is doing in that sense. It makes sense. It's the best thing they basically can do, is get a bunch of exclusive consoles, make a bunch of exclusive games, and try to at least win over some people. But even some of those exclusive games are coming to other consoles, which we'll get to later.
Yeah, I got a lot to say about that, so that's good.
Great. All right. Well, that's the big news coming out of Microsoft, but a lot of interesting stuff there. It's really fascinating, and Sony really hasn't done much in response. I don't know what their next console is going to be. Apparently, they're already developing it. But anyway, the other big thing that's been happening the last couple weeks, this is going to basically be a story that fizzles and dies pretty quickly. Nobody will remember this game in like 2 months. But Mind's Eye is absolutely crashing and burning.
It's so sad. It's so sad to see these games like Concord, Mind's Eye, even other games like Split. I believe it was. So I can't even remember it. It was the one game that was basically Valorant, but it was 2 people. It was like
Split. Something. It's not Split Fiction. It's
Split Fiction's a good game.
Yeah. It was what's his name's game.
It was Shroud's game.
Shroud's game.
Yeah, his Valorant game.
Yeah.
And
yes.
It was fun. It was actually fun. I can't remember the name of it, but it was fun. And like, it's so sad to see all these like shot in the dark games just sort of fizzle up and die right second it comes out. Like, one of the games I'm worried about happening to that too is like Fragpunk. Like, they want to be so much like these mainstream Valorant games or like any of the AAA party games, and they think that they can just boot it up and go, and they put so much money into it that they don't have ways to sustain it.
Yeah, it's hard to be CSGO. It's hard to be CSGO,
It is hard
too.
to be CSGO. It is hard to be CSGO, and I think one of the things that, Valorant has to the edge of it, like when it comes to this kind of stuff, is that Riot Games is very successful with like League of Legends and other things like that they can sustain it because they've already done something before it. Like, if you're a new generation of like trying to bring something new to the table, like, bring something new to the table completely. I'd much rather see someone jump the gun and shoot leaps around, because you can miss, definitely, but to make basically a copy of another game that's just going to die out completely, it's just crazy to me.
Well, it was funny because it was marketed as such a like GTA clone, like that's how they did it. And Benzie Lensley, who I think he was one of the guys that worked at GTA or worked at Rockstar on GTA games. Yeah. Like he was the guy who was like making this game, or part of the team making this game, and it's terrible. Like, apparently the driving is the only thing that's like slightly good, and everything else still sucks really bad. It's evident that they didn't put a lot of love and care into this. And I mean, it's not sad to me. It's sad in the sense that these people are working on all this stuff, but it's like, start making games that you're passionate about, that are good ideas. And maybe this is the higher ups that are at companies like EA or whatever, who force their people to make games that are just not very good. But either way, Mind's Eye is, you're right, it's alongside those other games. It's just going to be a total crash and burn. People will completely forget about it in literally months. I guarantee, like, this will be trivia on a random thing in 5 years, where it's like, this game,
not even going to be trivia. It's not even going to make it. Like, it's not even good. It's just, it's so sad to see, because like, these companies have people who have jobs, who have these are people who genuinely are trying something. And they're just like, oh, we need to be the next Halo, we need to be the next Call of Duty. Yeah. Like, we need to make money. And it's like, no one even really like cares about that kind of stuff anymore.
No, totally. Well, and this leads directly into the next news, which is Marathon has been delayed indefinitely by Bungie. Now, Bungie, obviously the company that developed Halo back in the day, they developed Destiny 1 and 2, which are both pretty well received. I know there's a lot of criticism, but overall there's a huge...
solid games, though.
There's tons of fans of those types of that game. Well, I mean, they basically said, it's delayed indefinitely amid backlash from its alpha testing, citing issues with visuals, AI, gameplay, and plans to add proximity chat. They're trying to, I mean, obviously it's an extraction shooter, and they're trying to get into that realm. But that game, it's had bad juju on it the entire time.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what else is an extraction shooter? Helldivers.
Yeah. Is that an extraction shooter?
Yes.
That's PvE though. That's not PvE. PvP.
There's PvP in it though, I believe. Is there?
No,
I haven't played Helldivers in so long.
No. There is a new one coming out though. That's Arc Raiders, and that had a beta, and that game people are super hyped for it.
Let's go.
So
Don't
it's
come at
funny
me in the comments.
Yeah, it's all good. I played Helldivers as an extraction shooter, but
fun.
it does have extraction elements, but it's PvE. No, but this game, it's so funny because like Bungie probably put billions of dollars into it, just hundreds of millions of dollars into this game. I shouldn't say billions. And yeah, it seems like it's another one of those games that might crash and burn unless they put it back in the oven and figure out a way to make it a really popular game. Arc Raiders, yeah, totally, yeah, but it's conceptually it's not getting good reviews. Like people are not into the gameplay concept, the way in which it happens. Well, Arc Raiders has so much going for it. That game, I'm telling you, when it comes out, is going to set the world on fire for at least a little bit. Even the beta was setting the world, like people were getting super pumped about it.
I've never heard of it. I'm not going to lie to you.
Really?
I have to check it out.
Yeah. So there's like clips of people like there's these animatronic like robots that are like they're like spiders that are like super dangerous in the open world, and then you fight each other. It's third person, but when you shoot one of those robots, they'll like jump and like land directly like near you. So it looks really good based off the clips, but everybody who's played it is like, dude, I love this game, and it has all these cinematic cool moments in it. So that's going to be, it seems like the next big extraction shooter. Not Marathon. Poor Marathon. Bungie, what are you doing?
Bungie, fix your game. Bungie.
Yeah. Amen.
That was fun.
All right, jump into the next side of news. I mean, this is kind of going back to Xbox and Microsoft doing something completely new, which is they're bringing Halo and Gears of War over to PlayStation. You seem upset about that, Jeremy.
Put my gloves on. I am so sick of giving up first-party titles. If Nintendo were to give up Pokemon to Xbox, I'd crash out. It's why are you letting go of things that are making your company money? You want people to play Gears of War. You want people to play Halo. Yes, do they have to buy your console to do it? Absolutely. Do you see PlayStation giving up Last of Us to you?
They don't need to.
PlayStation giving up Horizon Zero Dawn to you?
They don't need to.
Anything like that? They don't need to. Why are you fiending? Why are you fiending for money that hard? Like, it's just so ridiculous to me because Halo and Gears of War are great. They are great games, and I love the Xbox for playing that, even PC Game Pass. Don't give Sony your goods.
Are you an Xbox fanboy?
No.
I'm going to
I used to be when COD was Xbox only for those zombies maps.
Yeah.
You know, I had that 360.
I think a majority of people are actually excited and happy about this, mainly just because they don't have to... there's no exclusivity anymore in regards to... Because, again, majority of people own PlayStation because they had a PS4, and so they bought a PS5, and they have all those games. So I think a lot of people are actually pumped. Yeah, the answer to your question, too, the reason Sony isn't giving away Last of Us is because they don't need to.
No.
Those games sell millions of copies. Even if they release it on Xbox, it would sell maybe an extra million, but I don't even think it would sell that much because there's not that many people on Xbox. So... But it's just, dude, it's going to be nuts. Just growing up in the console wars, yeah. I've always been somebody who's like pro all consoles. Like, I don't really care. I own both an Xbox and a PlayStation and a Switch, and I have a PC. So...
Rich.
I'm not rich. It's just been built up over time. Rich
money, rich.
No, but like I've because I'm just love games. Like this whole thing, it's I think it's died down of late just because Microsoft has been beaten in submission. But I'll still see comments on social media where they're like, "Oh my god, Microsoft cooked," and it's like, calm down. This isn't that big of a deal. Plus, just work and save and buy more consoles. But anyway,
buy a console, get a job. DoorDash.
Yeah, exactly. All that to say, I think that it's going to be wild to play Gears of War on a PlayStation. When that game comes out, or when Halo comes out, having a PlayStation controller playing that game I think it has crossplay, that will be absolutely nuts. I'm curious to see how well it will sell. It's going to be Gears of War Remastered, the first one, or I think it's remake. So that game is great. You know, that came out in 2007.
So good.
It came out almost 20 years ago. So I think that will be exciting. And it's just going to be nuts playing those types of games. It would be like Mario being in a game on Xbox or PlayStation. It would be it has that same kind of feel that's like nuts.
I'd feel wrong.
Yeah.
I just feel like a wrong person.
What's wrong with me?
What's wrong with me?
Woo! I hate this.
I'm holding this playing Gears of War, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't take it.
All right, perfect. Well, I love it. Yeah, I mean, so that's going to be nuts. Well, there was a bunch of new games announced this last couple weeks. They weren't either announced or they just showed reveal trailers for a lot of these new games. I want to start with The Witcher 4.
Okay.
They showed basically an Unreal Engine demo in Witcher 4's world.
Those are really good.
So, yeah, I don't know how accurate it will be to the end product because it is a tech demo in a way. But I want to note one specific thing. One, the game world looks fantastic. They didn't show any combat. They just showed, I forgot her name, but the main character, Ciri. I got Ciri walking through basically the woods. So like the vegetation all looks fantastic. But then she walks through the city. And when she gets into the village, this is one thing I wanted to note. And this is more gameplay related than it is specifically just like, but it is AI related. And I really, really hope they're able to nail these kind of facets for next gen games, or at least for end of this console generation. She walks past somebody, bumps into him. He's holding a bag of fruit, and some of the fruit falls on the ground. And it doesn't seem scripted. It does kind of seem scripted, but I'm hoping it's not scripted. And a little kid runs up and he grabs the fruit and like runs away. And it's like it dynamically happened because she ran into this person who was holding a bag of fruit, and a fruit fell. And then another character responded to that. They showcased that.
Yeah.
If that is the future of gaming, if they're able to nail those things and it's not scripted, if they're able to nail those things or there's minor scripting in it, that to me is next gen gaming. Because AI is being really smart, and if they can somehow use AI within the world and the game itself, not AI like AI I mean, but AI within the game sense of the character's AI, I want to see that kind of stuff. If I'm running with the character, go ahead. Yeah.
So no, not to cut you off. Basically, the question I'm asking is, do you prefer it to be more of like you're more immersed in it? You don't feel like things are like. You don't feel like you're walking by a checkpoint and that was supposed to happen or that was supposed to happen.
Yes.
Like, it's more just like getting handed to you like as you go, different experiences every time. Okay.
Yeah. Like Red Dead Redemption 2 has like all these scripted moments that happen.
Yeah.
Where you walk by a guy and he's changing the horse's hoof and like it kicks him in the head and he dies. Scripted. That doesn't happen dynamically in the world. I know it's horrible, but that happens in the world. Like, so these are scripted moments that happen, which is great. Like, I want that too. Give me those moments. I expect that. GTA is going to have that too. Like, they're going to channel that kind of energy.
Yeah.
But dynamic things where if I'm like running with Ciri and I bump into a carriage and the guy falls off his horse, he breaks his arm, and now he's like, I have to go to the hospital. And later on, he's like, hey, you ran into the carriage. And like, if that happens dynamically, that's the kind of stuff that's sick.
I like that.
Yeah,
I think that's sick.
That's really hard to design game wise. So don't get me wrong, this is like big, but they showcased that in the Unreal trailer, and I'm like, if they're able to tap into that kind of energy where the world dynamically responds to you and what you do. If you do something random in a like out of left field, and it affects the world around you in a way that's cooler than just you shoot the gun in the air and everybody runs from you, but it's like stuff dynamically happens. That got me hyped for the possibility of what that could be.
I think that if you implied that into GTA 6, that could be the game of the century. The way you could already talk to AI and stuff like that. Hey, not to jumping up on Epic Games. AR Darth Vader, bro. That was insane.
No,
that was
totally
dope. Like, I got clips of asking him the craziest, stupidest stuff, and he was just like, he was talking back, and it's like, it's so cool, like, I know there's like pro AI, anti AI, all that stuff. But it's just so sick to kind of like, I think of Ready Player One in a sense. Like that movie, if I could play a video game like that and just like be so fully
it will ruin our lives.
It will kill all of us. We will die. The crops will die. The water will fill up, but it's like, it's just so cool to think of like, I would love to see that because there's so many fandoms and stuff like that of where if you build a solo game off of that and say that technology becomes more accessible, bro, people are going to be living in those things and like it'll be crazy, but it's also like it's cool to think about for sure.
Yeah, it obviously needs to be done well. I don't know if GTA will have that level of stuff. I think that game might still be the game of the century regardless, but I think that if game companies are able to tap into that kind of energy and just have really smart AI within the world itself, it will be really phenomenal to see. So anyway,
I like
pumped
that
about that. The next thing we got here is Bond was revealed. The trailer looks pretty good.
Looks interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I think a lot of the games I've played in that sense are like the Hitman games. I do miss playing Hitman 3. I think Hitman 3 was one of my favorite games to play on my Xbox. But I will admit I'm very much more of a multiplayer type of gamer. I've been working on getting more into my solo games. But I think this one will definitely help me hop back in a bit just because it's like that covert style. It kind of gives me like Solid Snake vibes a little bit too. Like just the spy-esque of the game, which is dope.
Yeah, I mean, I hope that they can tap into so I feel like there hasn't been a lot of great action adventure video games that have come out of late at all. Like I think Naughty Dog was making, Last of Us 1 and 2. They made Uncharted 4. That was the last one that came out. And Uncharted 4 was an action adventure game that was like, sprawling adventure story-based single-player game. Yeah. So this game, it's funny because it seems like they're moving slightly away from their Hitman kind of sandbox world. I assume that they're still going to have sandboxy elements where you have a mission and objective, and it's somewhat scripted, but you go through the world and you can kill or take out targets the way that you want to. I think it looks great. I trust IO Interactive Entertainment. I think that's their name, AO or IO. Anyway, I trust the Hitman games are great. I think that they will do a really good job. I think Hitman 3 was one of the best action games that was a sandbox that has ever come out.
And he was bald.
And he was bald. Great observation.
Bald man, gun.
Yeah. But I think that the vibe, obviously the Bond, nobody knows who it is, but that's fine.
Yeah.
I think there's a character from Walking Dead in it. Cool. An actor from it. But I do think that game is going to be good. I'm excited for a single-player action game, and I hope it's a 9 or better when it eventually comes out.
Yeah, I think so too. I just hope that they do it right. I hope it's not another Mind's Eye. I hope it's not another marathon. Take your time, cook it up, push it back if you need to. Just cook, and that's how it'll be. I like that.
100%. All right. Well, the next one we got. Do you want to do it? The next one we got is Clockwork Revolution. Clockwork Revolution looks awesome. So it's made by the same team that made the Wasteland games. I played Wasteland 3. Now, the reason Wasteland 3 was so good, it was kind of similar to Divinity or Baldur's Gate style of game. So I'm slightly holding caution towards this game because it's a completely new style of game for them that they're making. But it seems like Microsoft has put a ton of money into this company because Wasteland 3 had a really all these different endings. Yeah. Similar to Baldur's Gate, it had sprawling endings and it had a really sharp sense of humor. It had pretty solid gameplay that was you control your character, you move them somewhere, and you shoot the character like Baldur's Gate. Yeah. All that to say, it was a really well-made game. Well, I should say this. It was buggy. The game had a lot of bugs, but the writing, and if the game had 0 bugs, it's like a 9. It's a very good RPG. Clockwork Revolution is more in the vein of Fallout 4 or the Fallout games, or more in the vein of I guess it would be Fallout 4 or the Outer Wilds or Outer Worlds, which is the other game that we're going to talk about here soon. Yeah. Did you see anything on Clockwork Revolution?
I haven't seen much on it. I'm not going to lie, but the way you talk about it and describe it as Baldur's Gate, one of my favorite things Baldur's Gate 3 is so D&D-esque.
This isn't that way. This is more like Fallout 4.
I like how it can branch off that, but still give those types of vibes.
Totally.
Fallout 4 was super fun to play. So I'm excited. I think one of the biggest things I'm also excited about with this podcast is you have very good knowledge when it comes to single player RPG, that kind of stuff. I do love those games, but it's just super stoked. I'm stoked to hear about this because you're stoked to hear about this. It gets me hyped.
Totally. It looks really good because it looks like basically the way that they portray it in the trailer is you're changing history, and you can go back in time and you can change history. So it will be newspaper article, these group of people are revolting against this group of people. Yeah. And then you go back in time and you change it, and then the world has completely changed, and it's this group of people have made complete peace, but there's a dictator now. Basically, it sounds like
there's the future.
Yeah, exactly. My mom wants to kiss me.
My mom wants to kiss me.
The entire game basically is centered around this, like, there's all these different branching paths you can take in history you can change. But the gunplay and the gameplay looks sick, and the abilities that you have look sick. They look Bioshock-esque, and they look Fallout-esque.
God.
Yeah.
I love Bioshock. Bioshock Infinite was so good.
Totally. 100%.
Sequel.
It really does look like that. It looks like Bioshock Infinite in a lot of ways. It's not the same like type of cinematic forward game like that is, but like narrative driven, I would say in that sense it has more RPG elements. But either way, I'm reserved because I don't know if I fully trust that game company to make something that isn't buggy. But I am excited because I think that it's going to be the bones of the game are going to be good.
Yeah, and as long as it has solid bones, when it comes to like small bugs,
love a good
fixes. When it comes to small bugs and small fixes, I could definitely, as long as the game's playable, the game definitely needs to be standardly, like, I shouldn't be having to wait in menus for 9 hours. I shouldn't have to, like, those small game day crashes that you could fix easily with a patch, awesome. But if it's like Cyberpunk, and Cyberpunk was probably the roughest release I can remember to date, where it was just horrible, and I just didn't even want to play it anymore, like, it's got to be better than that for sure.
No doubt. At least they redeemed themselves on that one.
Yeah.
All right, the next one we got was the new Marvel fighting game.
Game of the year. No, but I am a solely big fan of the Marvel vs. Capcom games. Those were some of my favorite fighting games to ever play to date. I truly think that franchise is something really special. So seeing this be a completely different studio and only be solely Marvel characters set in Japan with all these, like, I don't know, it gets me so hyped because, like, Star-Lord, like, all the people who I would want to be in the Marvel vs. Capcom games, kicking ass in this one, like, it's so huge because Marvel always does a good fighting game. I will say they just recently got back into the shooters with Marvel Rivals, like, and that's been highly successful, but it's so cool to see Marvel stick to their guns and realize that handing it to a new studio, you know, usually having Capcom handle things, and like I've said, Marvel vs. Capcom, all of the ones, all the way up to Infinite, are very fun to play, and I replay any of them. But I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. I think that it's definitely gonna hopefully change my mindset on a lot of things to where I can trust other companies with these IPs. And hopefully create a new IP out of itself. My biggest fear, I will say, though, is I really hope it's not some pay-to-win BS. I hope we get some solid
it would be
characters.
Nuts
Bro,
if it was.
I'd crash out. I hope it's a solid character roster. Yes, you can unlock characters like Smash Bros, stuff like that. Don't give me paywalls. Let me have fun with the damn game. Like, that's my biggest thing. It's like one of the hardest things to witness with some of these games is like, you can play as that character you want to play as. Give me $6. Like, no, I just paid you $60 for this game.
Yeah.
Like,
Mortal Kombat had that issue. Yeah.
Oh, Mortal Kombat 1, bro. Like, it's just so sad seeing these IPs fall under money. Like, just we're paying the cost for these AAA games that are only going higher to $70, $80, $90. Don't make me pay more. Like, yes, if it's bonus content, but let me at least enjoy the base game. And, sorry to ramble on that, but that's just like...
You're good. You're doing great.
It's just what, like, I'm very passionate about in the sense of being able to enjoy these games without having to give up your entire life savings is a big deal to me. So
100%. I'm with you along the way. I'm not as into fighting games. It sounds like as you are, but
I love fighting games,
I can respect the crap out of them. I just never was like up, down, left, right, square.
Yeah.
Smash Bros was the closest I could get to it. But I'm with you. It better not be pay to win type stuff. I think it's made by a Japanese company.
Yes.
We'll see. I mean, I've seen them get money laundering. I've also seen them not do that. Mongering, I mean. So anyway, well, that's exciting.
Don't push it back.
Yeah. The Outer Worlds 2 was also showcased. I don't have a lot to say on this. Another open world RPG made by the same guys that did Fallout New Vegas. Outer Worlds 1 was pretty well received. I think this one is doubling down even more. My favorite aspect of this game is specifically you get perks. You get a lot of perks based off how you're playing. Yeah. So if you stare at the sun a lot in the game for some, like I'm trying to remember like specific stuff. Okay, how about this? So there's one where if you are crouching a lot and stealing a lot because you have to crouch behind them and steal stuff, you will you'll become like a theft. I forgot what it's called. It's
like a thief, like a
Well,
Basically-
Theft Maniac, like basically
Yeah.
you're addicted to it. So what will happen is if you're ever crouched anywhere, you will steal stuff. Like it's an automatic perk assigned to your character because you've been doing it so much. Your character starts to have a perk where he just does it automatically.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is brilliant. That gets me excited for the game. That for instance, there probably will be a thing in the game where if you are like you kill a lot of people, like if you're doing that a lot, then you probably will have like a quick trigger pull where where you'll be talking to somebody and you'll accidentally shoot them in the face because you're like always so ready to shoot people. Those kind of perks automatically being assigned to your character is a really, really fun concept in an RPG where you get to actually role play. I know you don't know a ton about RPGs and that's, but like games like Skyrim or games like Oblivion where you can get addicted to skooma, like you can get addicted to certain properties, is hilarious and funny, and it makes you feel like you're more versed in the world.
That's dope. I think it's cool. I've always loved the skill tree aspect of a lot of things. But I feel it is very easy to forget, especially for casual gamers.
Yeah.
So I think that's super helpful to helping branch off into a new audience where people maybe aren't so focused on like having their abilities upgraded every single second they get a skill point. No, it'll just come naturally. So I think that's super, super cool.
Yeah, and thankfully there is like upgrades like that too. But I love that. I love that kind of perk system. I don't know if it will be optional in the game when you get it or not get it, but that kind of stuff is really fun to me.
I think that's awesome.
That thief one is hilarious. Where you're like, I keep stealing stuff, so your guy's like now addicted to doing it. That's brilliant.
It's like, give me more money.
I love it. The next one is Donkey Kong had his showcase today. You want to talk about that?
Yes. Okay. So Donkey Kong, the new, I believe is it Bonanza? I don't know the name of it, but the
Bonanza Boing Boings.
It looks amazing. Gives me really big Super Mario Odyssey vibes, but just with that Donkey Kong Country twist. Announcing that Pauline is now going to be the person rocking on the shoulder. I believe originally in the OG trailer it was like a rock or something, so it was definitely a big surprise to announce today. I know that one is super popular with the people.
Yeah.
But the game just looks super slick, super good. I do still wish it was a day one launch exclusive to Switch, like that day coming out. I think Mario Kart World is really bumping up the sales, though. I think they just really wanted to give that its own area to shine. Still give people the option to pay for the Switch 2 upgrades to their games, which I still think is ridiculous, but it's still nice to see that they're giving that its own limelight. I believe it comes out July 17th, so I'll definitely be playing that day one. I think it is going to be a lot of fun to see Donkey Kong just kind of shine in his own light and have his own, the Donkey Kong Country games were always so much fun. The one I remember fondly is the one that was on the Wii. I think it was Donkey Kong Country 3D.
Jungle Cruise.
Jungle Cruise! I think it's just going to be so exciting to have that kind of just single-player, open-world Donkey Kong game because Donkey Kong, bro, he's so good.
Yeah, it's great that they're finally giving him his own exclusive game. I agree. Like, I don't understand why they don't do. Honestly, I want them to do the same thing with Metroid, not Prime.
Yes.
Not Prime though. I mean, I get why those games are good. I know people love them, but I really want them to do a third-person open-world Metroid Prime game too.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm with you. Donkey Kong looks fantastic.
Yes.
I'm excited for it. COD 7 was also announced, and Jeremy, you're more excited about that than I am. So
Black Ops 7. Okay, Call of Duty as a whole right now. I played a lot of Black Ops 6. I'm more of the zombies guy than I am when it comes to the story. Multiplayer is always fun. It's a good time.
Yeah.
I think that Call of Duty needs to slow it down a bit. The zombies run we got this round kind of sucked. I'm not going to lie to you. The maps were very interesting to play, very fun, but even with the last map, it just had me not even caring. Like, they just dropped Grief again to come back. Grief is great, but why are we so focused already on the next game when we haven't even finished pumping out content for the season of this one? Like, you can't just keep getting away with pumping out dumb content. Like, DLC, yes. Free zombies maps, yes, yes, yes. Give me quality, please. Don't just bring back a ray gun. Don't just do this. Like, give me some depth, give me some story. And I will admit, the Black Ops 6 maps are fun. I think they are super fun. I enjoyed them. I love, why can't I blank on the names? The 2 starter maps were both really, really good. Mm-hmm. Easter eggs, super fun, super solid. And then we got into the second one, the Tomb. Tomb was okay. That was all right. And then we get into, like, the next ones after that. And it's just like, just give me some more stability. And I know there was a lot of things going on with the voice strike. Where like the voice actors were on strike,
AI, right?
And some stuff like that. So it was a very interesting time for the game to come out. I do hope though that during Black Ops 7's run they'll realize that everything will hopefully just run smooth. We'll get some good maps. Maybe we'll get Zombies Chronicles 2. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to bring back with the new game engine. Because Black Ops 6 game engine is really fun. Like, don't get me wrong, the Zombies is really fun, really enjoyable. I just want more. Like, give me more. So hopefully 7 will come out with that too. And then multiplayer is just always a good time as well. So Treyarch usually does it right. It's just, they just need time to cook.
Totally, yeah. I mean, I played the last Call of Duty because it was on Game Pass, and I had a lot of fun. I probably put like 20 hours into that game, just having fun on zombies and online. I don't ever get hyped about this, but I'm glad it's on Game Pass, so I'm happy with that. I'm happy that it's on Game Pass. I'm happy that I'm able to play it easily and for not for free, but on that platform.
Shout out Xbox for doing that because even playing it on PC,
yeah, I'm always going to give it a go. I want to try out the tight gameplay and have fun with it. I'm always really good at the game the first like 2 days, and then everybody is just like gets way better.
Everyone's like, here.
Yeah, like I'll make clips of me doing like a front flip, headbutt, kill a dog. Like, no, I'm sorry.
Kill a dog.
I don't know.
John
if
Wick.
Dogs. Is there even dogs in those games anymore?
I don't even know.
I don't remember there being a dog attack. That was nuts in the original games where it would jump on you and you Rut-row. Anyway, I think that I agree with you though. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to talk about something.
Do it.
I'm going to talk. Listen, I'm talking directly to all you Madden players out there. You need to understand something. All right. EA is about to lose its exclusive licensing agreement if the NFL doesn't give it to them. This new Madden is not going to be good. I know you're all pumped. I know you're all excited. I know you're all in this place where you see the new gameplay and there's new snow mechanics where it actually looks like a blizzard. Good job, EA, finally catching up on that. Listen to me, fans. From a person who wants a good football simulation game. Do not buy the new Madden. With everything in me, do not buy it. I'm going to be posting this. You're seeing this on TikTok now or YouTube or Instagram, wherever it is. Do not buy this game. EA needs to lose its exclusive rights, and the NFL needs to allow competitors to come in. Like 2K, but also like, let's bring back NFL Blitz the League. EA has always been good at making fun arcadey games. That's why NFL Street was so good back in the day. And that's why the original Madden on the PlayStation was fun and arcadey. 2K is better at making simulation games. Even San Diego Studios, the team that makes the MLB The Show games, give them a shot at making an NFL simulation game. I guarantee it would be better. Now, I understand all of these companies have become money laundering. They're after your money, and they're after. I get it. 2K is like that. Even San Diego Studios is doing that. I know EA is definitely doing that.
Allegations.
Allegations. No, it's not allegations. They're doing that. All this to say, they're not laundering. Well, they may be. Listen, do not buy it. We need them to not have their exclusive rights anymore. So please, send this to your friends. Send this to the people. We need a good NFL simulation game. We need something that is good. Bring back competition to sports games. NBA 2K needs competition. Madden needs competition. MLB The Show needs competition. It will make everybody better. No more exclusivity. Please, I'm begging you, do not get hyped. Do not drink the Kool-Aid on the new Madden game. EA's lying to you. It's not going to be good. It won't be good. I promise you. All this to say, please. I just needed to rant on that for a second because I'm genuinely passionate about this.
Guys, promo code PERMABANTER when you're buying Madden 26.
Don't you dare. Shut your mouth.
Hey, I'm not going to lie, I love football. I don't play Madden like that. I agree with everything he just said wholeheartedly. Yeah. And if you buy Madden, we're going to put your address on this podcast. We're going to leak your address on Google Maps, and we're going to find you, and we're going to... Remember what he said, that dog in Call of Duty?
Yeah. Ruh-roh. Okay.
Man, that was beautiful.
Thank you for giving me that rant. It's from the bottom of my heart, please. Okay, that's my rant. Okay, let's dive into our topic for this. We have a couple of major topics that we're talking about. Thankfully, we're past the news,
yes.
And then we'll be wrapping up. So the big question, Jeremy, you want to take it away?
All right. So I have been thinking about this a lot when it comes to the past few years of movies, especially this year with Lilo and Stitch dropping, with How to Train Your Dragon dropping in the live-action format. Do we think that live-action movies should still exist of the animation, like the renditions of them? I'm going to firmly say no. I think we should let it be how it is, unless you're gonna do something a little different to a sense of, like, How to Train Your Dragon, spoiler alert, shot for shot remake, practically. It is exactly what you want from the animated movie. That's great, that's awesome to a T, where it's like, okay, bet. You haven't seen the original How to Train Your Dragon movie, awesome, you're checking it out for the first time. Like, you're gonna get those new branches of fans in. Lilo and Stitch is god-awful. That movie sucked. Let the animators do their thing. Let them cook. Let them have their stuff. You don't have to make a live action for everything. I don't care about live action Avatar The Last Airbender. I don't care about seeing Stitch in a cuddly 3D format. Like, I think it is not only a little bit disrespectful to the art format of it.
It is.
Let animation cook. Let the stuff happen. It's not just for kids. It's not just for stuff. Clearly, you're invested in these movies, too. You don't have to see it just because there's real, physical people in it. Enjoy the projects for what they are and what they were supposed to be. Stop just trying to make money off of what already was successful.
Yeah. More so than just letting the animators cook. Like, come up with some original new ideas. Mm-hmm. Like, stop making remakes of, like, I know people are sick of sequels and people are sick, but why are we making remakes of Lion King? Why are we making remakes of Lilo and Stitch? Those movies are still good. Just re-release those in theaters for a week and just be. But it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Why they need? I mean, it does make sense. They just want to make money. Like, that's their only goal. It's like, we just want to make money to take popular IP and come up with some creative new ideas. And I agree with you 100%. I think that they should go back to the 90s animation, even leading up to the early 2000s animation style things.
Yeah.
They should go out that way. If you're going to remake anything, do some of the if they remake Atlantis live action, I could kind of get behind that. Like, the Jungle Book, I could kind of get behind, because that's a really old movie that we had, like, and they did it completely differently. The live action Jungle Book movie is awesome. I don't even, like, know the original story that well, and so they added all these new elements. If they did Atlantis, I'm good with that. If they do something more obscure, I'm okay with that. Not these massive hits that are, like, already really phenomenal and good. But I agree. I want them to make a original new story.
Yeah.
And Disney's only good for sequels, and it's, like, nuts.
Find ways to get people hooked with new things. Like, yes, I can say this. I just went to Disneyland recently, and being able to see, like, all these lands come to life and stuff like that, like Cars Land, Star Wars Land. I geeked out like a 4-year-old. Like, it was insane. But, like, you have these properties. They've already clearly been successful. Let's add a few to the list. Let's add new stuff. I know they're just coming out with Elio, whatever that movie is.
It's getting good reviews.
I've heard it's good. I think it's going to be great, but it's like, keep it the same. Like, if they would have done a live-action Phineas and Ferb, I would have flipped my desk. No. What they do, they went back to the drawing board and made it still animated, and I've heard great reviews on that as well.
Yeah.
Like, you are good at what you do, continue to do that. You don't need to be like, I want to see Toothless in 3D fighting God or something like that. Like, I don't want to see that. Like, it's great. Like, awesome. But I'm not going to give my money to that.
No, like, I agree.
Disney Plus. I have Disney Plus. I'll watch it on Disney Plus, and then I'll probably throw up on the ground.
No, totally. I don't know if I'll watch it because I've seen the original animated movie. Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. Even if they added stuff, I don't care. Like, I am of the mindset that I am against anything that is a remake. It makes no sense to me to do it the way that they're doing it, to make it live action. I don't need that. I just want new original stories, and that's what
all the stuff I heard from Lilo and Stitch too. I think that's the one that really, like, kind of frustrated me a lot. Is all the stuff they changed that actually made people, like, really frustrated.
Yeah,
Not
like
gonna
the
lie
sister.
Sister gave up Lilo!
Yeah, she, like, abandons.
She said, I'm going to college. Ohana means see ya. Like, that's what it is. Bye.
Child
like,
Protective Services.
Exactly, bro. And that's why I'm like, it's ridiculous. And
you're up for adoption.
Yeah, bro. And, like, shout out Lilo for fighting her own. But those movies are great how they were. Let's either keep them great how they were and just do that thing with a little bit of a good twist on it. But don't just rip the core to shreds to be like, here's some money, Disney.
Yeah, I mean, everything we're saying, like, people need to start. I mean, they are. They're responding with their wallet. I don't. I'm assuming How to Train Your Dragon is making good money, but it's not going to be as much
Probably.
as the original trilogy. And Lilo and Stitch, I don't think made enough either. You're preying off like adults who are bringing their kids who are huge
Disney
fans.
adults, man.
Yeah. But either way, I'm very. It's so frustrating that there isn't just more original stories and/or movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see the new. What's the new animated one? The new Pixar one?
I think it's Elio.
Elio. I hope that's great. I hope it's really
so, too.
good. I've seen IGN gave it like a 9. I've seen some good stuff, so let's hope that that's a new original IP that's really great. I did really like The Wild Robot. Did you see The Wild Robot?
Yes,
fantastic.
Wild Robot was great.
That made me.
was
I cried 4 times. So good.
Yeah. Shout out Wild Robot.
Shout out Wild Robot. Okay, to our final topic, Jeremy.
Hello.
I just dropped my pencil. What do you think is going to be the biggest game of this year? The biggest, the best. Are we saying what's going to sell the best? What's going to make the most money? Take it away.
I have it in my heart what I know it's going to be, and it's going to be that new Pokemon game, man. It is.
Are you serious?
I genuinely think, bro, with the way Pokemon has been going and growing,
not
with the
expecting
new Switch
that.
2, like, it has been... Psych, boy! Borderlands 4 is about to cook this year. Borderlands 4 coming back, hitting you strong, hitting you great, hitting you in the nards. Borderlands is one of the greatest to ever do it. I love those games. I love the character aspects of those games. The jokes always hit. The looting system always hits. Claptrap, marry me, I kiss you like this. And it's just so good seeing those games. Like, I always get hyped for a new Borderlands game. And, like, it's just so nice to realize that we're finally getting one this year. And I'm super stoked. I hope that wins all the marbles for everything. I know it probably won't, but I think it's going to do really well, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely. That's interesting. You were saying Pokemon. I was like, heck no, that's not.
Hell no.
I mean, that game might sell a million copies, millions of copies, but it's not going to be the biggest. Yeah, I think Borderlands is a great pick. I do think that game is going to be really good. It's been in the oven for a while. There's such dedicated fans to that game series. The only reason I push back slightly is just because I've seen a lot of recourse online of people just not that excited based off the gameplay they've seen so far. I'm excited. I'm curious because I just always try to pay attention to the pulse of what's actually happening and what people are feeling. There already have been a couple of games that have come out that are, to some people, their game of the year, which was Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Oh, yes.
The RPG, which I think there's a good chance that actually might win Game of the Year. It already has been the game of the summer so far.
Wow.
I'm actively playing through Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'll talk more about that in my time. That to a lot of people is an open world RPG that a lot of people are really, really loving. I think in terms of Game of the Year, I think Clair Obscur is going to win it. I think Donkey Kong, knowing Nintendo, that game has a potential, to be like a masterpiece, like a 10 out of 10.
I hope so.
Like I'm trying to think of the original IP that they've released that's a game in the same style. You have Mario Odyssey, which was a perfect 10 from a majority of outlets and people and critics. You have Zelda, which was like a perfect 10.
Yeah.
And Donkey Kong's their next big hitter. And this is like their next like internal developed, like all that stuff.
Yeah.
I think that game might win Game of the Year if it really is like it looks like one of the most fun games ever made, and I think it might be one of the most fun games ever made. And,
I'll wear a Donkey Kong suit on lunch day.
Like I think that there's a good chance that game has enough legs underneath it to be that big, to be that huge. I'm trying to think if there's any other games that specifically are like that exciting, like that are going to be coming out. It would have been GTA, obviously,
100%.
if that was coming out this year. I think
Mind's
that
Eye.
good chance that Mind's Eye is a winner. I'm pulling up a list just to see if there's anything that is going to be. Oh yeah, okay. So we can talk about this. I mean, Death Stranding 2 is going to be people talking about that one a lot. Let me look here. Monster Hunter Wilds, I don't think we'll have it.
Nah.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much it. We basically hit the biggest games. Outer Worlds 2 is going to be big. I think you have a chance that Borderlands is going to be one of the top selling games of this year. I'm pumped. I mean, I get down with 4-player co-op or even 2-player co-op like experiences.
Yeah,
and
I'll hold 2 controllers.
Yeah, exactly. And they're gonna have split screen, which is like sick. I think that there's a good chance that game's going to sell millions and millions of copies. But this, I thought this year was going to be one of the biggest years in gaming, and it's kind of not been because GTA isn't coming out. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go Donkey Kong. I feel like that game is going to come out, and it's going to it's going to sell 5 to 10 million copies pretty quickly. But more so than that, I think that Nintendo will just nail the fun factor. And this is the first time that Nintendo has ever had a console this strong.
Yeah.
Like the fact that they were able to do so much with the Switch, the original Switch, with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, both of those games are awesome. They're incredible. Dude, Tears of the Kingdom has an entire I know, did you ever play these games?
Yes.
Okay. Did you play Tears of the Kingdom?
No.
As well? Okay. So there's an entire map underneath the main map, and then there's the main map, which is the entire map, and then there's maps up in the sky, which is all these different platforms.
That's so cool.
So it's basically 3 separate maps within the game. All this to say, what I'm saying is that Nintendo just freaking, Donkey Kong's going to have so much content in it, so much packed into it, and it's going to be on a next-gen level of style and gameplay.
Yeah.
And Nintendo hasn't had that. They've never had that. And I think that they're going to pull out all the stops with that game, and it's going to be considered a masterpiece. And I assume that it will be pushing the entire gaming world forward in terms of action platformer fun. The same way Odyssey did, I think Donkey Kong, the ability to drill into the ground and do all that stuff, whatever they end up doing, it's going to be the biggest game of this year. I think that mainstream wise it won't be as big because not everybody owns a Switch, but anyway, what are we gonna do?
Friendly wager.
Okay.
End of the year. If Borderlands sells more than Donkey Kong, you have to wear a Claptrap cosplay for an episode. If Donkey Kong sells more, I'll wear a Donkey Kong costume.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think Borderlands is going to sell more. My debate isn't that it's going to be. I think Donkey Kong is going to get more hype. Yeah. Borderlands is going to sell more because it's not. You can play it on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong's going to be exclusive to the Switch. So, you win.
Let's go. Let's go.
No, but I think at the end of the year, if you were going to argue what's going to be the biggest, what's going to be the most well received, critically acclaimed, I think Donkey Kong is going to take it away. Because even Clear Obscure, while that game is beloved by so many people right now, it's not the. It is critically acclaimed. It's not going to be as critically acclaimed, I think, as Donkey Kong.
No, not even Mind's Eye.
And I can see Borderlands 4 getting an 8. I can see it being great, but it being an 8 overall to a lot of people.
Better be a 9. 9 or above.
I hope so. I mean, Borderlands 3 was a 9, I'm pretty sure. Borderlands 2 was they've nailed every main entry in that series.
Don't forget the pre-sequel.
Yeah, well,
hey,
I don't count that as a main entry. That game got an 8.
It was fun.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying it's bad. I think that I would rather play the RPG one, the Tina's.
Oh, yeah, whatever, Tiny's Tina's.
Yeah.
Something. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, there you go. I got to dress up as Claptrap at the end of the year.
He does. Clip it.
Yeah. All right. I know you've been on a trip this past week, so I'm curious. What have you been playing? What have you been watching?
I haven't had much time to play. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena. That game.
Loser.
Yeah. Hey, I'll bust out the deck right now, bro. I keep that thing on my desk. You know what I'm saying? Back to what I was saying about Magic the Gathering Arena. That game.
Loser.
It's been super fun, super enjoyable to play, and it's just cool. It's fun playing Magic on the go.
Is that on your phone, or is that?
It's on my PC, on my phone.
Oh, okay.
Play it. Or Marvel Snap. That's been fun too.
That's a good one.
I like the TCG games. They're a lot of fun. What I've been watching, I've still been doing my MCU rewatch. I'm not gonna cap. I've been watching Love Island. Love Island is so addicting and hilarious. And
it's junk food.
It's junk food. But Love Island, hey, bro, vote Huda off the island, bro. Get her out. But no, it's been super good. I've been trying to get back into my nerdy stuff, but Love Island has just got me in a massive chokehold right now, and I can't stop.
Nice. Yeah, I get it.
Hit me with yours, Mr. Matthew.
Yeah, watching wise, there hasn't been anything major. I've been watching this Culinary Class Wars, which is this Asian cooking show that's Korean. And some of the voiceovers in it are hilarious because it's like Asian dubbed, so it's like an anime, but it's like real people.
Oh, that's awesome.
Anyway, I've been watching that with my wife. But no, I've more been playing a lot. I've been playing a ton of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Nice. I finally hopped on that bandwagon. A lot of people think that's game of the year. Dude, I think that game is so good. I don't know if it's my game of the year yet, just because I need to play more of it, but it is one of those immersive RPGs where it's similar to where, like, if you keep drinking a lot of alcohol, you will become like an alcoholic, like that kind of energy of like what you do. But when I first started playing it, I was like, I'm gonna really like role play this, like how I would if I was really a medieval man. Mm-hmm. And I realized that I'm like, if I was a medieval man, I wouldn't be fighting people left and right. Like, you know, when you think you go into an RPG, you're like, I'm gonna kill like people or whatever. Like, I really wouldn't be doing that. I would try to talk my way out of situations. I would try to outsmart people or just talk to them, and you know, and I would be nicer. Like, so I've been role playing that way, and It's been really engaging and fun, and it's hilarious because like also it's like the game, you start with nothing. You start with nothing. Your reputation is down the gutter. And like you have to basically earn people's favor by either doing tasks for them or talking to them and those types of things. And like I talked to this blacksmith and he was like, hey, like I need to get basically the whole plot so far is I need to get to this wedding to talk to this specific person. And I need an invitation to the wedding. And so this blacksmith was like, if you come and work for me, I will do that. So I went to him and I started learning how to become a blacksmith. Mm-hmm. And like you literally are a blacksmith and you're like doing a little mini game of like learning how to do it. And I did that for like 2 hours. And you would think that's boring. Dude, it was so fun. Like I was so engaged. I was like, I'm making a sword and I'm like going to sell this sword. I'm going to make money. And like, I have no money right now. Like money is really hard to come by. So it really is immersive and a ton of fun. And the way that the plot threads weave is brilliant. I was looking for my dog. His name is Mutt. All right. And there's all these different spots on the map that are like quests where you can go talk to these people to find them and to see if you can find Mutt. And so I go and talk to the shepherd and he's like, well, he might be with these like pack of wolves. And so I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, but you need to like get the pack of wolves to come out. And I'm like, well, I don't have any bait. And he's like, you can use Eunice. He's a dumb sheep. We'll just follow you around if you have a carrot. And so he gives me a carrot, and Eunice follows me over to the spot where the wolves usually hang out. And I put a carrot down, and Eunice is there, and the wolves show up. Wow. And I like kill these wolves, and Eunice dies. And I walk back to the shepherd, and he's like, "Did Eunice die? Oh, that dumb idiot! Of course he didn't die. Like, of course he didn't live." And like, but then he's like, "Well, I'm sorry, your dog." And my dog wasn't with the wolf pack. Huh. And so it's like, okay. And he's like, but you should go talk to this person. And it's like, it's a branching narrative that leads me all the way over to another part of the map. Interesting. And so I go to that other part of the map and I start talking to, like, I go to his house and his wife's there and she comes out and she's like, I'm really terrified. I'm really worried about my husband. I have a bad feeling. I don't know where he is. And then she's like, talk to my son. I think he knows where he is. And you go and talk to the son. And the son has a terrible relationship with his dad because his dad is a drunkard and he's drunk all the time. And so he's like, I'm not going to help you. And he's like, and you're like, here, I'll give you money. Like, you can talk to him and try to convince him. And he's like, I'm not telling you. And he's like, so I failed my checks of like, you're like, you should be nice to your father. And he's like, F you, dude. And I was like, okay, here's 10 groschen, the money. And he's like, all right, fine, I'll tell you. And so you go and you find him, and he's up in a tree, and there's wolves trying to get him. Like, dude, I'm trying to find my dog, and why am I helping this random? That's my point. Like, it's a branching narrative of like mission. Like, that's really smart mission and design. That it's in order to find my dog, it's leading me down this merry chase of these really interesting stories and plots. Yeah. I end up having to carry that guy all the way to like his secret hideout. Uh-huh. And at his secret hideout, his horse was stolen. And so I have to go and track the horse. And the horse was stolen by these bandits. Wow. And so I go and I kill these bandits. And I get the horse back. And I grab him and we go back to his house. And like I rescued him. And he pays me money. And then I leave and I come back and I'm like, hey, by the way, I need to find my dog. And he's like, well, you should check here. I go and I check there. The dog's not there either. And so I did all of that for not nothing, but like I couldn't find my dog. So I found my dog in another way. Where is my dog? Yeah. All that to say, all of these branching narratives is brilliant. It's really good writing. It's really smart quest design, and it makes it feel like a true adventure. That game to me, if it keeps on and holding up that way, it might end up being my game of the year. Wow. but we'll see. But that game is a ton of fun. I've been having a blast.
Hell yeah, dude. Well, I think that's all we have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Perma Banter Podcast. I've been Jeremy. You can find me at chunky2s.co on Instagram or chunk.tv on TikTok. Matthew, where can they find you, my friend?
Yeah, you can find me at Matt's Foodie Eats on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube. I'm trying to make that blow up. Please go give me a follow. Please like all the videos that I post. That's what I'm trying to do full time, is do food content along with this baby boy. But yeah, super appreciate you guys all watching. Please comment what things that you want to hear us talk about and so on. We would love to hear your feedback and always appreciate it.
Hey, as always, thank you for bantering with us. We'll see you on the next one next Thursday, baby. Yeah!
Double salute! Double salute!